He made an acceptance speech following that declaration. But then the governor, yes, I mean it, the governor of the state, that's Governor Fintiri, is of another opinion. In fact, talks about this in very, very intense set of words. Take a listen to him.
This is Morning Crossfire.
Fellow citizens of Adamawa State, this morning, we all woke up to an illegal announcement by merchants of Anarchy headed by the resident electoral commissioner, Malanduhu Yunusa Ari, who since the beginning of this election is bent on pushing our collective patience to its limit. It is on record that we went to the polls for the first round of the election on the 18th of February 2023. Even when it was apparent that I was costing home to victory, this same gang added the confusion and rendered the election inconclusive. As civilized citizens who were committed to a democratic accord, we accepted the situation in good faith and prepared for the rerun. Yesterday, Saturday, the 15th of April, the rerun was held peacefully across the state. The appropriate officers and now commenced the process of collation. The first round of collation went on well, with 11 local government collated, before the process was adjourned to continue today, 16th of April at 11 a.m. Just when we were waiting for the resumption of the collation, the REC this morning took up a tax he is not constitutionally empowered to do by making an illegal announcement of the outcome of the election without result. This action is no doubt prerogative, but in this situation, I appeal for calm, as always. I assure you that as your leader, I will ensure nobody taunts your democratic rights. The Independent National Electoral Commission has demonstrated its umpire status by first distancing itself from the act of the REC and assure that the right thing will be done. The right thing in this context is the conclusion of the collation at the designated location and declaration of a winner by the returning officer in person of Professor Mele Kerry. I must thank you for your resilience and resolve not only exercise your democratic rights, but to also protect it. We are on this justice until it is done. Fellow citizens, once again, I call on everyone to remain peaceful and law-abiding, trusting that the world is watching the enemies of democracy at the height of their shameless brigandage. Nobody should take the law into their hands. Let's peacefully await the next directive from INEC, believing that they do know the integrity of the commission is on test. Thank you and God bless you. Yes, at this moment, the right thing is what INEC has done. They are in Abuja. They don't know what has transpired. They don't know what has happened for the REC to take the illegal decision and the illegal announcement without result, without the returning documents. So I think the chairman and the entire INEC as a body has done the right thing by suspending the collation, and probably after their evaluation of the situation, they will fix a date for the continuation of the remaining 9 local governments to be completed and the election result announced.
Your Excellency, my name is Judo Bukavu. I work with AIT. I'd like you to tell us your opponent, the APC governorship candidate, has read out her acceptance speech and she's parading herself as the governor of Adamawa. How would you react to it?
INEC has already declared null and void all the actions taken as regards this election.
Your Excellency, before now, your party, the PDP, has insisted that this rec will refuse himself from continuing the process. Is this a vindication of what your party had initially known that the man's actions had been built to execute what we have seen as a man?
I think from the beginning, the man has not only demonstrated an act of unseriousness and which touches on his integrity. But I still believe the man is not normal. Even the way he read out the result today, you can't just come in and abuse and criticize INEC and the INEC chairman and say you have the power, and you just stand without any result and just announce that this person is now the governor-elect in Adamawa State. I think whatever powers that surrounds him, he has no power to exercise what he has done.
This is Morning Crossfire.
Yoruba people will say, "Lo baton." Well, it is finished. That's what Yoruba people will say. But that's the dramatic point, and on the drama building up even today, much across the states. There we have it. With Adamawa State. If you're just catching up with this, things are really turning out quite interesting. As one would find from the supplementary polls that did take place in Adamawa State over the weekend, the results still being collated, but the announcement already beaten the results and announced by the REC, not the returning officer. Okay, just to make things clear, Dino Malai had his chance to emerge as the PDP gubernatorial candidate in Kogi State. Yes, his own results and announcements follow through this way.
This is Morning Crossfire.
The results of the election, which
The highest vote of 313 is hereby declared as elected and nominated as the gubernatorial candidate of the People's Democratic Party of Nigeria.
So you have that going on. And Dino was elated about the announcement, and he had this to say shortly after that time.
Senator Malai shares his thoughts. I want to appreciate the panel that came from Abuja. I mean, the process was very transparent and very straightforward. As in November.
All right, so all that makes up a little bit of what was going on over the weekend. Excited people as well, sharing their viewpoints. Robert Clark as well, elder statesman, speaks about Obi and why he should back down and accept defeat in the 2023 elections.
This is Morning Crossfire.
The other step, even if the Labour Party decides that Tinubu has not qualified by virtue of past precedents, if they claim he did not have, and the court says it has, they still have to surmount that principle that the elections were marred with many, many irregularities. Now, what does the law say? The law says there is a presumption of regularity attached to whatever INEC does. The Evidence Act in Nigeria gives INEC that privilege. Now, the election petition is based on the principle of sui juris, which means that compliance with the provisions of the Electoral Act is not a total compliance, but must be complied with substantially. How do you decide that word, substantiability? The Supreme Court now is in that difficult position to look at all the evidence to be brought by the Labour Party regarding malpractices. Now, the notorious place Labour Party is holding is Lagos State. They are claiming that in Lagos, they were cheated, the voters were not allowed to vote, there was this, okay. When they prove it, they still have to go a step outside the proving to show how it has affected the election.
This is Morning Crossfire.
Robert Clark there, making things clear and also making his point known with regards to how Labour Party should proceed in days to come and going forward. All right, let's take in two calls with regards to the Adamawa State election, supplementary election, and the process so far. Remember, INEC has suspended the REC and he has to face the panel. The returning officer, of course, has now been also summoned to Abuja, and a few other officials of the commission to provide perspective on what led to what and how things are going in the country at this point in time. So there's much to talk about with regards to this. Let's get your views in. Let's see if we can take on 2 calls before the next speaker point, all right? Good morning to you. Welcome to the show. Oh, that didn't stay true. Good morning. I'm glad you joined the show.
Good morning once again, my elder brother, Mr. Femi Omale.
Yes, welcome.
He's your brother from Northern living in Aruna.
All right, welcome.
Mr. Femi, the division of the rape and the Adamawa state is a comfort. As a governor speaking, the right to declare the winner. Is the returning officer that has a constitutional right to declare the winner. Order by ringing or by the majority voting of the right to have confidence. We don't know the relationship between him and she, and go to the INEC and declare Aisha Denani as the elected governor of Adamawa State. My advice to INEC, after the all legislation, they will send the man to the jail for the example to the order. That's why we are praying if there's a legislature going to fair, say it has to be, because this is APC, not hunger, and grabbing the INEC and grab everybody's security to bring the election by force to favor the APC. God will serve over the country. Thank you, my brother.
All right. Oh, God would really help the country. Stay with me. After the break, I'd like to take on more calls. I have about 30 seconds to wind down into the next speaker point. But stay close. There's more to come.
Nothing breaks the news like the news. Trust me, I can prove it. I do it every morning on Morning Crossfire from 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. on Nigeria Info 95.1, and I'm Femi D. Amede. Join the biggest conversation around the national politics every day in a way that is trustworthy, full of passion, and yes, covers the biggest politics and the stories that matter to you. See, you have all the reasons to find out what's going on in Nigeria and be engaged differently. Let's talk. That's the way to go, even this morning.
This is Nigeria Info.
Nigeria Info.
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 is Nigeria Info.
Nigeria Info.
This 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 is Nigeria Info.
Nigeria Info.
Hello, my name is Kimberly Nwachukwu. I'm the host of Hard Facts, and I bring you the biggest stories driving conversation every weekday here on 95.1 Nigeria Info Hard Fact Show. I love to get your opinion and conjectures, but the facts you cannot dispute here on Hard Facts. Join me and let's talk.
This is Nigeria Info.
And you're clear about what you think about this. I find some very interesting point of view. I've listened and read some few things. Somebody said, "Isn't it funny? The INEC chairman is condemning what happened in Adamawa when he did the same at the center, where he announced to win a presidential election, even when he was told not to do so. When the issue of uploading the results started off, so soon the fruits of that action is here and is complaining." You reap what you sow. That says Juliana from Area 1. Let's get back to the phone lines and take your viewpoints on. Good morning to you. Welcome to the show. Good morning to you. Can you hear me? Good morning. Oh, that is stage. Aha. Good morning. Welcome. Hello. All right, moving on. Good morning. Welcome. I'm glad you joined the show. Yes,
yeah,
good morning.
Chigozie calling.
All right, Chigozie. Yes, welcome.
Yeah. Yeah, let me say the APC woman that give a accepted speech.
Mm.
I hope she's aware that that man is not the one that's going to announce the results. Is she not aware?
Well,
is she not aware that that man is not the one that's supposed to declare the results? And she went ahead and accepting the declaration of that man. She also should be arrested also. I think so.
Mm. Oh, well, she can't be arrested.
How can she accepting a declaration result from somebody that is not supposed to, that was not from my neck, and She's aware.
But he is from INEC.
So is it?
Oh, hold on. The rec is from INEC. It's not somebody from...
Yeah,
yes, the rec is
the
from
man-
INEC.
Thank you. Yeah, the man is from INEC.
Yes.
He was not that supposed to declare the winner of the election.
Okay.
And the woman is aware.
Okay.
So she also, in fact, her result of that election should be totally cancelled. And she should also be prosecuted.
Okay.
And also those...
Thank you, Chigozie. Let's leave it at that.
They were giving that man protection. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. By the way, INEC has said null and void as the summary of our victories so far. They've declared the the results is null and void. Good morning to you. Welcome to the show.
This is Comrade Sam from ACT here.
All right, Comrade Sam, glad you joined the show. We're glad you're on. We're listening.
Thank you. You see, the word from God is strong, that you reap what you sow. It is INEC chairman that protects this drama. Even when people were complaining, even Malaya was protesting, instead of using a better word, he said, I'm not going to that if you are angry, go to court. You see, the thing now is on. It's going everywhere. Very soon, a mechanic will announce the results, and we have to accept it. Thank you.
All right. Okay, I think that's all he has to say on that. Good morning to you. Glad you joined the show.
Good morning, Femi.
No. I can hear you. I can't hear you properly.
Good morning, Femi. Hello?
Yes, good morning.
Yes, my name is
My brother, this call won't work out. It won't work out properly. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Femi D.
Good morning. Welcome.
This is Dan from Jabi.
Your name again, please.
Dan.
Okay, Dan. Yes, Dan.
Mr. Femi D, good morning, sir.
Good morning, brother.
You see this thing that is happening for election. I don't blame anybody. I blame Mahmoud. Now Mahmoud started. If you watch the declaration of the result for all the election, governorship election, National Assembly, you will not say all of them, they are following what Mahmoud did. Say, just declare. If no one did, you go court. Now the same thing will happen from Nasarawa State. Now the same thing will happen for Kaduna State. Now the same thing will happen for Rivers State. Now the same thing will happen for Taraba State. Nothing changed. Anybody, they want to prosecute anybody, may they start from Mahmoud. All these things that is happening, they copy from their Oga. That their Oga started in, that their Oga planet. So nothing changed. No any system that is changed. It's what Mahmoud did. It's what the staff are following.
Okay.
Nothing changed. No, just beat around the bush.
All right. No wahala. Meanwhile, Atiku Abubakar has reacted to the Adamawa supplementary election so far. He describes it as treasonable. It talks about security agencies should arrest the electoral commissioner for the act he committed. And there are talks about money transacting as well from one end to the other. And I don't know which of the end. I will not say I should confirm which end, but I do hear about 2 billion moved from one end to the other. Good morning to the other. To you, not to the other. Good morning.
Dr.
Sir? Good morning, sir.
Dr. Femi, good morning, sir.
Good morning to you.
There is, yes, my name is Justice Office.
All right, Justice. Welcome.
There is what our father used to say. He said, like father, like son. Just as our last caller said, our INEC chairman, we saw it display when people were complaining. Don't announce. He went ahead and announced. That is what I just say. Maybe the INEC, the commissioner there have already collected from this one. He does not trust the returning officer whom he must have collected from the other side. Somebody is fighting for their stomach. And we are watching the shameful display on the screen. What a shame.
What a shame. What a shame. What a shame, he says. Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Justice. Yes.
Me and you.
Oh, well, the network is not helping you much, Justice there. But meanwhile, I have to say this. The Adamawa INEC commissioner, after the declaration of Binani, you know, much of the struggle we saw was there was pulling of his outfits in the hall. But after the hall, I mean, I don't know who are the attackers, but it was a terrible sight. He was stripped of his clothes, he was beaten, and he was barely in his underwear, at the point in time. And after he was beaten, this was how he sounded like. I mean, he literally was in so much agony after being beaten. Terribly beaten, and he was being encouraged to put on, I think, the clothes that they brought on for him to replace what he had. It was beaten, stripped, and put in a position of shame. It's not the best of ways to approach this. I think I don't even know his composites. I mean, what level of confidence would it be that he returns to this? Good morning.
Children with the cover head. I don't know whether to call you doctor, medical doctor, traditional doctor for that one.
This time is going, Time is suspect. Please go on.
So Femi,
yes.
I want to congratulate Senator Dino Melai, area for APC in Kogi State. Let me congratulate APC Kogi State in advance before the November election. He has made but that will be depending on the candidate that will come from Kogi East. That with my GCS.
Yeah. Hello? Oh, no, okay, now. Move it. Good morning to you. Hello, welcome to the show. Yes, I'm with you. Good morning.
Hello, Femi, good morning.
Oh, yes, welcome.
This is a problem.
Glad joy.
Yeah, the issue of you see, that is what I'm saying. Who knows how many days that this thing happens? What do you know about this? It's because of not have right to declare the election because not the office. This is the third office. It's not to clear votes. And somebody else is declaring, and when they want to complain, they will tell you go to court. It is just unfortunate. Man, look at in short, the whole world is seeing us on the screen, shaming ourselves. Somebody that knows that you don't have the right, you don't have the power, you don't have the pedigree. So, and as a result, you come for to allow it. Hopefully that nothing will happen. And they do know, naturally, do know the worst part of it. The ACC spokesperson, Minister of Labour for Employment, he come out to, before this, I declared this in honor, but he come out to support it.
Who again? Who did you say? Who?
Minister of Labour for APC presidential campaign spokesperson.
Do you mean Minister Okoye? I beg to say, Festus Keyamo.
Yes, I have the video. I recorded the video now with me. I can forward it to you. When he supported that they say that APC have done this and that, then when I now come back to say no, it's not our voice. We now say okay, they are working. Let them see that. How can you come out and detain Nigerians, say the whole world? People are looking up to you, and you see something that is wrong, and you stand on top of it and say that it's right.
I haven't seen the video, but you can share with me, please. You can share with me. I'd love to see it. I've not seen that. Yes.
With the comment he made, the first comment he made when they declared that thing, I will share it with your WhatsApp.
Okay.
It's just unfortunate. Nigeria is turning to another thing else. Thank you very much.
All right, thanks for that. Interesting viewpoints. Okay, let me read up some of the messages we have coming in. Hello, family. With regards to Kogi State, PDP primary election have come and gone. I think the good people of Kogi State are in good position to determine who governs them, who have competence and capacity for Kogi people to decide, but not external forces. John P. Other written in. From the Adamawa election, you can see why people of sound mind believe that election process in Nigeria has greatly improved. In the days of the PDP reign, election results were merely written and announced without much challenge. But today, there's a resistance everywhere, which is a score mark for our democracy. I love the scenario happening everywhere because at the end, poor Nigerians will be greater beneficiaries. Our Nigeria shall be great again. Mr. G had the written in. Solomon from Niger State says, good morning from D. Nigeria is a country filled with people who like jokes, with national duties, and they always go away with it. I think it's high time our leaders start punishing offenders for continuity in this country. All right, from D, you can see the kind of, you can see that kids copy whatever their parents do, both good and bad. Do you know that the INEC chairman and officials have no moral justification to indict the REC, because that was exactly what happened in the presidential election? For me, what I had seen in this election, there should be no INEC as an institution again until we decide to have one that will live up to its responsibility. Let's be having selection or appointment of the leaders instead of wasting our time, lives, and money on election. Lady C writes it in. All right, good morning, Femi. If you put logic into play, we can safely say that Adamawa rep must have influenced results in Binani's favor. INEC wants just to blow down, open this supplementary election. Mike from Area 1 is of that opinion. Leo from Wuse 2 says, good morning, Femi. Show me your friend and I'll tell you who you are. The REC in Adamawa State is doing exactly what INEC did in the presidential election. The shameless dance continues. Do you think so? Femi, I beg, the results have been declared, whether rightly or wrongly in Adamawa State. The aggrieved should go to court. It doesn't matter who declared it or how wrong the results were. They were being declared, period. I personally do not see a difference between this and the results declared by Professor Yakubu. Nancy from Wuse they write it in. Steve from Greg says, until we have leaders of better quality than we have right now, it is smelling danger. It's smelling danger all over, from top to bottom. It's just going back to negligence of duty, costing people their lives and properties. When will this end? Steve from Gwags is asking that. Good morning, Oga Femi. With this action, it shows that Nigeria is not mature for democracy. This is poor demonstration of impunity by INEC staff. Henry Oga from Suleja had a written in. Good morning, Femi. You're doing a great job. Well done for being professional. God bless your effort. Ajia Talatu Idris also did write that in this very morning. Okay, I've got many messages, I must tell you, but I've got less time because I need to speak to the rep from UNICAF in a moment from now. What happened in Adamawa State is rascality with a little touch of ignorance and disregard for the rule of law. To say it's a shame is just scratching the surface of the drama that happened yesterday. Sam Abi from Cuba had written in. Chima from Apo says, good morning from there. This is pure treason in Adamawa State. All the actors should be arrested. What's the Minister of Information? He should make comments over the matter. Chima from Apo had written in. Good morning from there. Please, can INEC undeclare what they have declared? Oluchi from Abuja that to say. Well, the authority to declare doesn't reside with the REC. So if the returning officer was the one making that declaration, whether under duress or no duress, it'll be considerably interesting to say, can they declare what they have not declared? But the person in this case who declared does not have the authority, and by the organizational structure is not with the electoral authority to declare. And INEC has come out to make that clear and say the results collation is suspended to further notice. So we'll see. The days ahead would only tell us what it will be all about at the end of the day. Wonders shall never end. Anyways, I'm surprised INEC is not allowing this illegal declaration to stand. Derek Ode, that's the summary of what you do right. I've got to break it off right now to speak to the rep from UNICAF this very morning. Thank you all for your messages. Stay close. This is Nigeria Info.
This is
Nigeria Info.